Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Great to see you there once again, and welcome to, I'm very happy to say, a very sunny South Devon. We're here on Teignmouth railway station. We're off on the trains again. Where are we going this time? Well, it's going to involve Great Western Railway train, a very brief visit to funky Totnes once again, and then we're on the steam trains. And we're going to be seeing steam trains, maybe one or two otters, maybe some butterflies, and we're going to have a bit of a laugh. So you, of course, as always, are invited. Come on then. Teignmouth railway station, looking really lovely in this late October sunshine. It really is quite a quaint little railway station. And here comes our train. I was hoping it was going to be an HST, to be honest with you, but we've got one of the IETs, but never mind. Better trains coming up later on. It's a bit of a trainy video today, so apologies for that if you're not into trains, but there's going to be some lovely Devon scenery as well. Right, let's get on.
Newton Abbot, Totnes, Ivy
Sheldon Bridge,
Plymouth, St Budo Ferry Road, Saltash, St Germans, Liscar.
The estuary looking beautiful this morning. High tide, as you can see. This is the beautiful River Teigne. And in our last video, where we went to Fingal Bridge, you can see the River Teigne many miles upstream, just on the edge of Dartmoor, looking even more beautiful. Check that out. And straight away, Newton Abbot. Looks busy here. And here we are, back in funky Totnes. Bye bye train. Off she goes on her way to Penzance. Lovely stuff. We were in Totnes just 2 weeks ago on a rainy, dull day, but if you'd like to see our video of wandering around Totnes, which is a beautiful town, take a look at this channel. It's about 2 down from here on the video section, and it's a lovely place to come and visit. Today we're not going to be wandering around Totnes town centre. We are heading off on the steam trains, so let's go and see what we can find. And if you watched the other Totnes video, you might remember this little map here. So last time, we're here at the railway station. Last time we walked past the castle, had a look at the castle, then onto the main street, and we came all the way down High Street and 4th Street, ended up by the river where we had a lovely meal, and then walked all the way back up. Very nice indeed. Today, we're not going that way, we are going this way. And why are we going this way? There's your answer. And there's the Salcombe bus. Now there's an idea for a video. How about Teignmouth to Salcombe by bus and train? Maybe. And here's another idea for a future video. What do you reckon?
I fancy that.
Yeah, I fancy that as well. Could we do that in one day? Probably not. I don't think so. Might have to make that a 2-dayer. Look at the lovely old signal box here at Totnes railway station, and the top part is a cafe. We've never been in there. We'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it? Ah, here she is, HST. Ah, not long left for these buttes. This is Launceston Castle. They got about another month on this line, and then they're off and going to be replaced by boring diesel multiple units. What a shame. Here she goes. Listen to those engines roar. Cardiff Castle on the other end, the Welshman. Lovely. Bye bye HSTs, we'll miss you. So we're headed for Totnes Riverside railway station. It's only 450 yards from the main line railway station down a little wooded path. We'll have time to have a look at the the little station, then we're going to get on the steam train and go up to beautiful Buckfastleigh, have a look around there, hopefully get some nice steam train shots, and of course some beautiful Devon scenery as well. I'm excited about today. How about you? What do you reckon?
Oh, I am. I love a good steam train.
Oh yes. Whoop whoop. This is a pretty path, isn't it? Lovely. Very autumnal. And look at this, isn't it pretty? Less than 5 minutes after walking out of the railway station car park, here we are at the beautiful River Dart. And are we in the right direction? Yes, it looks like we are. Isn't this lovely? I do love the River Dart. Here's the railway bridge. Look at that graffiti on the side of the bridge. How on earth do they get up there to do that? And why? Mainline railway bridge on the left, and the lovely little footbridge that leads you exclusively to Totnes Riverside station across the other side of the river, home of the South Devon Railway. Let's go and have a look. Here we are. So today's timetable, we're going to be going on the 11:20. That should suit us very nicely. Let's have a look first at this beautiful railway bridge. I don't think this has actually been here that long. Somebody who lives in Totnes put me right here, but this certainly isn't an old bridge, is it? It was built to link the steam railway station to the rest of the town. But look at this, isn't it beautiful? Totnes, you are so lovely. Wow, look at this. And look at the beautiful views down across the River Dart. Ah, Devon really is God's own country. And I'll wait for anybody from Yorkshire to put me right there. Cross country. Lovely. That's the Derby to Plymouth train. This really is so pretty. The beautiful River Dart, and then the path through to the South Devon Railway here. Look at this, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? We've done the South Devon Railway a couple of times before, but we've driven to Buckfastleigh and come down here on the train, and we stopped off at Staverton where they have a really good beer festival in the summer.
Oh yes.
Except the last time we went it was chucking it down with rain, so we had to shelter. But it was still a very, very good day out. Totnes town, Buckfastleigh. That's our destination today. Don't see too many of these nowadays. Has it got a phone in it? No. No, it's locked up. It's not even a book exchange. I thought it would be a book exchange, but then I think there is a little bookshop here at the railway station. And here's a tempting picture on the right hand side. Bobo class 25. Lovely. There's the main railway line, the line that takes you from Exeter down to Plymouth and into Cornwall. And this is where the branch line to Buckfastleigh, and originally of course it used to go right up to Ashburton, and you can see that station at Ashburton in one of our other videos on this channel. But this is where the branch line used to join the main line. How wonderful that they've turned this old carriage into a little shop. Look at all the beautiful models. And a little bookshop. I'm going to be having a good look around those. Old railway magazines. I love old railway magazines. Especially if they're going back to the 70s and that sort of era. Oh yes. Definitely my happy place here. Love the basket. Beautiful Totnes. Funky Totnes. Why do I call it Funky Totnes? Because it's an alternative place. It's got its own vibe and I love it in Totnes. I think the first train is due in about a quarter of an hour, so we're just going to wait for that and we'll get that as it comes in. Look at the old milk churns here. Fantastic. Old carriage here, awaiting restoration. And then across the other side, you can walk off the end of the platform across the crossing. There's a beautiful little cafe there. And that's part of the Totnes Rare Breeds Petting Farm and Cafe. Absolutely lovely. Great to see a signal box still working. Ashburton Junction. Harking back to the old days where this was the branch line that terminated at Ashburton Station, which you can see, as I mentioned earlier, on one of our other videos on this channel. And here's the entrance to the Rare Breeds Petting Farm. So you can bring your kids out for a fabulous day here, have a ride on the steam trains, and then go and have a look around here as well. So much to do here, it's wonderful. Look at the old wagon here, Torquay and Dartmouth, 107, load 12 tons. Fantastic. Well, if you've watched this channel for long, you'll know that I always say that these are not a history lesson, it's not a definitive guide or anything like that. There's plenty of information online if you want to look up the full history of this. But it was originally opened back in 1872, the branch line between Totnes and Ashburton. It ran until 1958. It went through the ownership of Great Western Railway and then of course British Railways, and eventually BR closed it back in 1958. But in 1969 it reopened as a steam railway, as a heritage attraction by the Dart Valley Railway, and still continues to do so to this very day, and good on them. Nowadays of course it's known as the South Devon Railway, and I can hear a whistle in the distance. I think the train is coming. And here she comes. I love this excitement as a steam train approaches. It's just not the same now, is it? So we've got 1369 today on this run. Look at that, what a beaut. Right, let's go and get down the end and see her detach and run around the train. And look at this, thanks to a lovely gentleman who volunteers here, we have found the little secret observation bit at the end of the train. Oh, we should get some nice views here. We're just detaching the loco now, and it will run around the train to go back to the front. Just approaching Staverton. lovely old pack horse bridge there, and the signal box. It's a beautiful little station at Staverton where they have the beer festival in the summer. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Right, better get on before she goes. And away we go. Another lovely little restaurant there, built out of an old coach. Look at the pretty station. Here we are in Buckfastleigh. So this is the lovely little observation card that's at the end of the train, so you can just sit at the back in one direction and watch the line disappearing behind you. If you're in the other direction, then you'll see the back of the engine, which of course is equally as interesting. And a big thank you to Rob, the lovely gentleman at Totnes Riverside station, who told us about that. I think we'd have never guessed about that, would we? No. So anyway, let's have a look around Buckfastleigh railway station. And here she comes, running around the train again. You can see the depot off to the right, class 33 sitting in there, a couple of other steam engines, and here she is. I sometimes wish this was smelly vision, not all the time, but sometimes, because the smell of that steam and the oil is just lovely. It takes me back to my train spotting days back in the 70s. And back she comes. It's like looking at a model railway layout, isn't it? And here is 1369 already lined up to take the run back down to Totnes. Before she does, we're going to have some lunch here. Well, in fact, we're going to be taking a later train, and we're going to go down, just have a closer look at the depot here, because I can see a 33, a 25 and maybe a 37 just behind that steam engine, so that's my sort of stuff. I'm going to go and have a closer look. And Rob was telling us just the other day the coaches arrived ready for the Polar Express, which runs across the Christmas period, and I think that's those behind 33002 over there, as far as we can tell. Quite a lineup of motive power here. 33002, an old British Rail class 33. Used to see a lot of those, especially along the south coast area. They used to do a lot of the runs from Waterloo down to Exeter. Steam engine 2807, then an old diesel shunter D2246, and a class 37 there, 6737, with its coat on. So it must be having some restoration work done. And I can see another shunter there, another steam loco. Let's have a closer look. And it's lovely, you can get up close and personal with some of the engines here. 5786. Some heritage rolling stock behind it as well. And look at this beauty. This is an old diesel rail car. I think we've actually been on this one, you know. I think when we came to the beer festival a few years ago at Staverton, they were using this as a shuttle between Buckfastleigh and Staverton station. It looks like it's not in use at the moment, but it certainly has been in the not too distant past. And just alongside the sidings you've got a little garden railway here, which runs around in a circular route. Never been on there, but I'd love to do it. Absolutely lovely. There it goes, look. And just inside here is another smaller gauge railway. And again, I'd love to see this in action. This is the South Devon Garden Railway Group, and this is their Dart Bridge layout. Isn't that fantastic? I guess you've got to come in the summer to see this in action. And just round the back, a few old engines in various states of restoration. Some may wait years, some will get done quicker, but hopefully at some point they'll all be restored. Glendower. That looks like one you'd find on some of the Welsh small gauge railways. And another saddle tank here, 6412 from the old British Railways days. Yeah, definitely a doer-upper this one, but one day hopefully. I love coming back to these places. It takes me back to my early teenage years as a train spotter, sneaking around various railway depots around the UK to try and get the numbers of those locos that were always rather annoyingly hidden behind other wagons and carriages. And here she is, ready to go. Steaming up. Yep, all clear. What a sound, isn't it? And here's the beautiful station here at Buckfastleigh. Oh, you can do a murder mystery experience here if you want. In fact, it was on this very railway. If you watch Beyond Paradise, the one with Chris Marshall, the Death in Paradise spin-off, and by the way, there's a video about the filming locations for that on this channel, but they did film a murder on a train, and that was filmed right here on the South Devon Railway in Buckfastleigh. The view of 33002 Sea King. And I think these might be the coaches they're going to use for the Polar Express. Unlike most of the heritage railway lines around the UK, and there are many great ones, we used to live quite close to the Severn Valley Railway. We used to go there quite often. I love all the old adverts. It's great that they've managed to get hold of them. Looking at the old GWR bench. And who remembers Fry's Chocolate?
Still make it.
Established 1728, makers to His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen, and Her Majesty Queen Alexandra.
Wow.
And of course, you've got to have your Woodbine advert, haven't you? And who remembers Puritan soap? Sounds a bit sort of, I don't know, like a punishment, doesn't it?
Sounds like it'd be carbolic.
Yes. And the Class 25 sitting there opposite the signal box. And sadly the line doesn't go much further than here. It used to go all the way up to Ashburton, and of course it's now totally disappeared underneath the route of the A38. But if you see our Ashburton video on this channel, we show you the old railway station and where the lines used to come in, so watch out for that. And while you're at Buckfastleigh station, you must have a look at the museum, free to go in. is a very important locomotive. This is called Tiny, and this is the last in the world of the 7-foot gauge locomotives that used to work on the line down in the southwest when it was broad gauge before it was all converted. What a wonderful piece of equipment. And if you have seen our video of Ashburton where we show the old railway station, those sheds are still there. They're now industrial units, but you can still see them. And where the station platforms and that train were, that's now a car park. You can see all that on our Ashburton video. Want to have a go at driving this one? Well, you can do, but you're not going to be able to get very far. Let's have a look. Incredibly complex equipment. And you can imagine how hot it would get in here back in the day when they were firing up. You'd have the tender behind, and the smoke and the heat. I guess it wasn't a very glamorous life being an engine driver in those days. A very old carriage which you can go into if you want to. Wow, look how tiny they were in those days. Mind you, compared to some of today's modern trains when they're overcrowded, that would have been luxury, wouldn't it? Some of the old station signs, Paddington, Shipton Abbott, of course, that's made especially for that Beyond Paradise TV show. More models. Great picture of 60009, the old A4 Pacific here at Buckfastleigh. My goodness, that would have been a sight to see. And look at the old cases. They must have been so heavy. No wonder they needed trolleys. Some more milk churns.
Oh, look at this. Cabin, P&O.
So that would have been
Going on to a cruise.
on a cruise or a
Yeah.
long sea journey somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably on its way down to Southampton or maybe even Plymouth. It's the old hatch in the booking office. Oh, look at that
Oh, look.
fire. That's very cosy, isn't it? Isn't that lovely?
Everybody goes to fire.
Ah, yes. Actually, it's quite warm today.
It is.
But my eyes are drawn, as usual, to this beautiful old vintage radio. Look at this. I would love to get my hands on this. Can't quite see the names of the old stations in there, but it'd be like all the old stations from way back in the day. Places like Brussels, Luxembourg. Can you see any there?
I can see Paris, Hilversum,
Hilversum,
sorry. Oh, aircraft.
Oh, aircraft band as well. Wow.
Oslo, Bremen,
Bremen, Radio
Dublin,
Bremen.
BBC
yeah.
Forces.
And of course you'd have your old light service and home service on there as well. I want a second-hand one of those to have at home. I don't even care if it doesn't work, I just want one. And look at this wonderful car outside the station. Now Nina, your dad was a petrol head, he'd have loved this, wouldn't he? What do you think this is?
It's an Armstrong Siddeley.
An Armstrong Siddeley, I've never heard of that before. But isn't it beautiful? And when you come out the front of the station, got another siding there with another steam engine in the distance. And then you've got a lovely little restaurant here, and we're going to have some lunch there in a bit. And you've got the gift and model shop, which I'm definitely going to look around because it is full of train stuff. Absolutely wonderful. And look at this model railway here. Isn't it gorgeous? See the Ferris wheel going round. Oh, and there's a train coming. Woo woo. There he goes. Oh, and look who's here. It's Thomas. They've even got a canal there as well. Oh, there's another one the other side of the canal. Oh, it's him again. Into the tunnel. Whee! And if you're a railway modeller, what a wonderful shop this is. The only one I've seen to match this is the one at Picorama at Beer, which is fantastic. We're going to do that on a separate video sometime. But I tell you what, railway modelling is not a cheap business. Look at the price of these locomotives. Most of them are around £200–300. But I guess the locos are the main expense. The rest of it is scenery and carriages. Well, actually, it's all expensive, isn't it, to be honest with you? But what a variety of traction they've got there. Fantastic. And these are a larger gauge, so more expensive. £672, £514, £621. Well, they are beautiful bits of equipment. Oh, and look what's just rolled up. This wonderful old London bus. Oh, fantastic. Well, we just had a really, really nice lunch here. We both had the same, didn't we?
We did.
All day breakfast bap, bacon, sausage, hash browns, egg, brown sauce for me. Absolutely gorgeous, highly recommended. And a flapjack for pudding as well, and a nice black coffee.
Superb.
So there you are, something else to do on your day out on the South Devon Railway.
Would you like us to film some of the food sometime? Pop a comment in the comments below.
In the comments, yeah.
Yeah.
Here is today's meal for you.
I meant before we'd eaten it.
We've eaten it, never mind. And here comes our friend 1369 again. She'll be taking us home in about half an hour. Ready for another run around in a second. And here she is, ready to take us back to funky Totnes, so time to get back on, I think. Just next to the station is this house, which I guess would have been a normal house in times gone by. Maybe something to do with the railway, I'm not sure. But next to it, they've set it up as a wartime garden. And if you're of a certain age, you may remember these things. They used to be in your grandmother's garden. And yes, my grandmother in the West Midlands, in Wednesbury, had one of these in her garden. Do you remember these? They were made out of corrugated iron, sort of semi-submerged. I mean, if a bomb fell on it, I don't think it would save you, but it probably saved you from flying debris. Look at that, just enough room for probably 6 people in there. But you've got kettle and bottles, cups, mugs, and probably a few little provisions, enough to keep you going. And just to one side here, yeah, isn't that lovely? And your old wheelbarrow. Marvellous. Oh, it takes me back to my grandmother's house, way back in the 60s and 70s. called Napper's Crossing, and it's named after the lady that used to look after it for many years. And here we are back in funky Totnes. And the beautiful river dart that has been our companion throughout the whole of today. That was a fantastic day out, wasn't it?
Oh, it was superb, absolutely superb.
And it's great that you can do it by train, so if you don't fancy driving down to either Buckfastleigh or Totnes, wherever you are, just get off at Totnes station, easy walk to the South Devon Railway, and away you go. And away you go, and you get this beautiful scenery all the way. So now we're heading off back to the mainline station to these newfangled trains, and we're on our way back to sunny Teignmouth. And here we are back at Totnes mainline station. Not quite the same, is it really? And here we are back at Teignmouth. Hope you enjoyed that. A beautiful day out on the South Devon Railway, and another great day out right here in beautiful Devon. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, that would be great, but otherwise enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you'll join us again for the next one very soon. Take care, and bye bye for now.